car buyers can be tough to please, and what they want is always changing. But one thing that hasn't changed is a desire for your new car not to explode. And for one car in the 1970s, that was just a little too much to ask.
By the late 60s, American car manufacturers, they're really starting to worry. Gas prices are going up. They're losing a generation of consumers to these smaller foreign cars. But Ford, all they're offering right now are these heavy muscle cars. And so they come up with a solution.
In 1970, after 2 years of R&D, when it normally takes twice as much time to develop a new car, Ford rolls out a new model unlike anything they've ever made before.
Pinto, the new little carefree car from Ford.
The Pinto is here to save Ford from the invasive VW bug. It's marketed as a low-cost, low-fuel, American-made car. Everything about the Pinto is designed to be easy on the wallet.
Ford does a crazy amount of promoting for the Pinto. They've got it in TV ads. Henry Ford II is driving it around everywhere through Detroit, really, really building a brand.
This thing also is only half the weight of their normal cars, which means it's gonna get better gas mileage. It's also very affordable. It's $2,000 brand new, which is about $16,000 in today's money.
The affordable, fuel-efficient Pinto is the perfect car for the early 70s, and 800,000 are sold in the first 2 years. But the plucky Pinto also has a hot little secret.
Lily Gray is driving her Pinto in May of 1972, and it kind of stalls out. So she's trying to get out of the way, and is rear-ended, and her car bursts into flames.
It should have just been a fender bender, but on contact,
This is actually the first of many incidents involving Pintos getting hit from behind in low-speed impacts and bursting into flame like blowtorches. So people are thinking, what's going on? Something's not right here.
it turns out because they wanted to make the car small and light, during the design phase, the rear of the Pinto shrunk to far more than what's normal. Shrinking any part of a car should be really done with care.
The problem is the gas tank was right next to the back bumper with almost no protection.
So even in a fender bender, sharp metal points rip the gas tank open like a can opener. Fuel spills everywhere. One spark, and it's like the 4th of July.
By the late 1970s, over 100 lawsuits are filed by victims of fiery Pinto crashes.
News story after news story about these explosions come out, and it becomes a national punchline. It's in late night, it's in cartoons.
It was kind of one of the first examples that I remember of a nationwide joke. But for something to gain that level of notoriety and failure, it had to really suck. It became the standard bearer for what a flop was.
In 1978, 1.5 million Pintos are actually recalled. Crazy thing is, like 1979, 1980, they still sell almost 200,000 Pintos, which goes to show you, people are willing to maybe compromise on safety if they can save a buck.
The Pinto was a fireball waiting to happen, but that wasn't the end of the story. The Pinto saga went beyond road safety. In fact, it went beyond roads entirely.
Henry Smolensky is an aeronautical engineer living in California. And in 1970, he has the idea of putting a flying car in everyone's life.
He doesn't want to start building from the ground up. So instead of creating a whole new flying car, he kind of wants to put wings on an existing mass-marketed vehicle.
The vehicle that Smolensky chooses for this vision of the future is the Ford Pinto.
He needs a car to take to the skies, and the Ford Pinto is affordable, and most of all, it's light. It's less than 2,000 pounds.
Smolensky's prototype combines the wings and propeller of a Cessna Skymaster with the body of a Ford Pinto. He names his creation the Mizar, after a star in the Big Dipper constellation.
Who wouldn't want this? As long as you don't get rear-ended in the sky, what could be more convenient?
Before the Mizar has even been tested, Smolensky has 35 pre-sales. Not bad for a Pinto with wings. But the big question is, will the Mizar fly?
In August 1973, the test flight is conducted. Smolensky's Mizar is being operated by a test pilot. The vehicle gets to the appropriate takeoff speed, the pilot pulls back on the control column, and the Mizar rises to the air and reaches an altitude of 120 feet.
Then that's where things go wrong. That's when one of the struts holding the wing gives way. And so the pilot has to make an emergency landing, and he does so safely in a bean field.
Smolensky isn't giving up. He makes some tweaks, he improves his experiment, but this time, for the next test flight, his pilot's not available. So Smolensky figures, I'll take the reins.
On a clear September morning in 1973, Smolensky and his business partner take off for test 2.
Smolensky gets the car in the air, and everything seems to be going just fine. He climbs to 400 feet, and while he's at an altitude of 400 feet under controlled flight, the same wing strut fails.
Smolensky attempts to regain control, but it's too late. The Mizar plunges into the ground, and he and his co-pilot are killed instantly.
An investigation later reveals that even though they used a lightweight Pinto, it was still way too heavy. And the strut that broke on the first test was never properly repaired. So with Smolensky's death, the dream of the flying Pinto is gone.
You're wondering if the notoriously exploding Pinto gas tank had anything to do with the crash. We'll never know, but it definitely couldn't have helped.
Squeezing too many people into cars used to be totally normal. And back in the 1920s, automakers came up with another innovation that turned the back of the car into the most thrilling and bone-rattling seat in the joint.
By the Roaring '20s, cars have gone from curiosity to mainstream transportation. And for a lot of young people with money, that car is a coupe.
The coupe is sleek, it's fast, it's zippy, it's everything that you want. But the problem with one of those is there's only 2 or 3 seats on the bench in the front. What if you want to take your pals? What if you want to go on a double date? You're going to need more room.
But in the 1920s, coupes come with a little bit of a secret. When you walk around the back, you pull a handle, and suddenly 2 extra seats appear.
It's genius. When it's just you and your sweetheart, the car looks sleek and low. But when you got your buddies with you, you open it up and boom, extra seating.
Sitting in the seat could be a whole lot of fun. You feel every bump, the wind in your hair.
The fold-out seat starts as a luxury item. But by 1929, the best-selling Ford Model A comes with one. But that convenience comes with a compromise.
These aren't exactly the most comfortable seats, though. The seat is right on top of the rear axle, and it's the 1920s. So there's not exactly a lot of shock absorption.
All that jostling earns it the nickname, the rumble seat. But when your seat is basically outside the car, a pain in the butt is the least of your problems.
Well, the rumble seat isn't actually in the cockpit of the car at all. It's sort of by the trunk. It's outside, more or less.
There are few, if any, speed limits or drunk driving laws. It's anarchy out there. Now imagine that you're hurtling down a highway at 57 miles an hour. If the car crashes and you're in the rumble seat, you're gonna get ejected. And if the car flips, do the math, that car is going to fall on top of you.
The rumble seat acquires a pretty funny yet slightly sardonic nickname, the mother-in-law seat. Oh, you want your mom to come with us? Please allow her to sit in this open-air death trap 2 feet above the road where she can be exposed to all the elements. It's safe.
Grisly newspaper headlines about rumble seat accidents are very common, but the automotive industry and the public take them in stride.
Despite all the well-known risks, the rumble seat sticks around into the 1950s. The classic 1957 Ford Thunderbird actually has a flip-up back seat that's called the bird nest.
By the late 60s, regulation and just pure common sense catches up with us, and the rumble seat goes the way of the dodo.
Pinto.